This is One-on-One.
When I was a boy, I wished I could fly.
Me too.
So did I.
Out the window and over the trees.
High as a cloud and lighter than air.
Then loop the loop and up to the stars. I dreamed about flying all the time. What girls dream?
Up to the stars, I like that.
Me too.
Eventually, of course, we dream other dreams.
We change.
We grow up.
It always happens. Nothing is forever. That's the rule.
Everything ends.
And so our story begins.
That was a clip from Peter and the Starcatcher. You're now looking at Roger Rees, who is the co-director of this terrific play. It was nominated for 9 Tony Awards and won 5.
Yeah, we're as we say in England, gobsmacked.
That is
we got
terrific.
5 awards. Yeah, it just means that we'll have a bit of a longer life, and more people will be able to see this story, which gives such delight to people.
Talk about the story. It's a story about responsibility, but it's about so
Yeah.
much more. And by the way, one of the things that struck me, cast of 12 playing 100 characters.
I know. Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. But tell people
People say,
responsibility. It's
yeah,
about so much
people
more than
come out of this. They say this doesn't feel like it's a play with music, and it feels. What is it? What is it? It's a really theatrical evening, and that's the wonderful thing. I directed it along with Alex Timbers, who's a wonderful, brilliant young theatre director, and we do it together because it's just so hard to do. 12 people playing so many ideas. They play walls, they play ships, they play everything. But in the end, this play came from a children's book by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson, 2 very funny, very concerned men who wrote it in response to their daughters saying, "Where did Peter Pan come from? Who is he?" So they started to write a book. They wrote several books on the same subject, but we took the first book, and Rick Ellis, who wrote Jersey Boys and The Addams Family, he managed to bring it right. At the end of the play fits exactly into the beginning of the J.M. Barrie story, play, and novella written in 1904, where Peter Pan alights on Wendy's window and the story of Peter Pan starts. It's a story of a young orphan boy who's being sold. He lives in a crate. They've never seen daylight, these boys. There's 3 of them, and they're being sent on a galleon to be sold as snake food to an evil king on an island. And a young aristocratic girl discovers the least responsible, the most runtish of the 3 boys, and she gradually educates him into becoming a heroic person. She gives him some identity, and in doing that, she creates Peter Pan.
Who's been coming to see it?
What's amazing is that I think very first of all, and this idea came to me when I was running Williamstown Theatre Festival, Tom Schumacher, the great, brilliant head of Disney Theatrical, brought the book to my attention when I ran Williamstown. And so at first, the Disney Association meant that people thought it might be a musical for little kids. But it's not really that. It's for kids who read, of all ages. Kids, if you're 10 and you love books, you'll sit with your parents and you'll go, "Get out of my way." I've seen kids do this. They go, "Leave me alone. I understand this." It's full of verbal wordplay. It's full of adventure. It's full of audacity. It's full of anachronisms, just the way that the original J.M. Barrie book and play was originally.
Let's go to the clip.
A pirate with scads of panache wants the key to the trunk with the cash. Now here's some advice. Though I seem to be nice, I'll cut you, slit you up one side and down the other so you can watch your own stomach flop around on the deck. I say, Smee, you did explain to my lord that I'm a bloodthirsty outlaw.
Aye, Captain, but he still wouldn't give up the key.
Well, we haven't got all night, Smee. People are paid for nannies and parking. Stand aside. I'll have to do it myself, or I'm not. Or I'm not. What am I? Black Sash!
Like all great parts, he's a neurotic. You know, he's the very last pirate in the world. 100 years after pirates were around, he's still a pirate, and he's thinking, I don't seem to have anyone to talk to. And he's on a ship surrounded by morons. His crew are stupid. And so he pretends to be literate. He does poetry and things like that, hoping that someone will think he is of some worth. He realizes eventually that he meets this boy, and this boy is the answer to his jigsaw. He's the villain, and Peter completes his jigsaw because he now has a hero to fight.
Tell everyone about that young man who just won the Tony.
Yeah, Christian Ball. That's Christian Ball who was in Smash. He's in Smash. He's going back to Smash when he finishes his run with us. And he's a great, great actor. And we've built the part like on him, I think in the same way that J.M. Barrie was able to do with the very first actor who played Captain Hook all those years ago.
Where can people see the play?
At the Brooks Atkinson Theatre on 47th Street here in Manhattan, where people are just delighted, and they stand up at the end and they say, we just want to see more of it. I'm so thrilled more people can see it, because there's Peter Pan in all of us. Peter Pan belongs to everyone. He's a great star to have in a play.
I'm curious about this because I first, like a lot of folks, knew you from your work in West Wing.
Oh, yeah.
Just incredible. Great television series.
Fantastic
you're great,
actors.
Well,
I played Lord John Marbury, who was the British ambassador, it's very flattering for an actor to play people who are really clever. And he's a very clever man who hides that by a smokescreen of smoking in places you're not allowed to smoke in, grabbing women's breasts, yelling, shouting, a great smokescreen of stuff under which he's a very, very sensible and brilliant man. Well, that's a great part to play. Playing two things at once is what every actor dreams of.
Well, the segue here for me is this.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this. To what degree is your ability to direct connected to your acting experience? Meaning, does it help?
Yeah, it's. I think it's all the same artistic impulse. It's the same springboard, but just knowing actors take great comfort in someone who's been an actor saying to them, "You don't need to do that with your hand." Or when I played Hamlet, there's a line in Hamlet. He says, "I stand here between heaven and earth," and my partner Rick Ellis said to me very kindly one night after he'd seen me play the part, he said, "You know, you don't need to point."
Is that also what you mean by when you've said that directing is "quote unquote" democratic?
Oh,
with a small d?
absolutely.
What do you mean by that?
Trevor Nunn said it best. Putting on a play is like a plane crashes in the desert, right?
Yeah.
And you're the director.
Yes.
And everyone says, oh, we should go down this wadi to look for water. So we all go down 2 miles down here. But it's the director who says, we've gone too far down this route. We need to go back to the plane, the crash site, and we need to start again. It's the director who pulls them back every time. But I love the democratic experience. I love the community of theatre. I respect these actors, these 12 actors, the next generation of wonderful actors. If you want to come to the Brooks Atkinson Theatre and see these incredibly complex, wonderful actors, this new generation of great American actors do this play, it's wonderful. Celebrating actors is a wonderful thing to do. Being a director is just a wonderful thing. They educate me every day. It's a great responsibility and a privilege to be with them.
Congratulations to you and your colleagues. Roger Rees, the co-director of Peter and the Starcatcher, which everyone can see at
the Brooks Atkinson Theatre here in Manhattan on 47th Street. Please
nominated for 9 Tony Awards and winning 5. Congratulations again, and thank you for joining us on Public Television.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. One-on-one will continue from the Tisch WNET studios right here at Lincoln Center, right after this. Thank you very much. That was wonderful.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Medical Center, Bloomfield College, offering small classes and big opportunities since 1868, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship, and by Verizon Communications. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.